Wow. We're going to talk about an orc list today.
From buying your first box of minis and paint to being a competent player at the gaming table, we have you covered.
We play every miniature game at a heroic level. We'd like to take a moment and thank our sponsors and Patreons that keep the channel going, plus you for watching the videos. Be heroic and click that subscription button. Welcome in, everybody. We're going to take and go over an orc list. About 15 minutes, we're going to run through it. The models that I've chosen to put in it, I have not got a chance to run it yet. I have got it all put together in my own way using some of the printers I have in the house because it was a list I want to throw and see if it would work because it is a very expensive list when you buy it outright. I think just for the bikes, it's pretty crazy. But we will run through it. Before we get started, thanks to the Patreons for taking help and keeping the channel running. Greatly appreciate those. And the sponsors for taking and letting us be able to put the several different games that we put on. But today it is 40K. It is an orc list. It is a very interesting list, something I've always wanted to do, all the way back to, I think, when it came out, which was Speed Freaks and the different stuff. And so I have finally acquired what I needed. Now it has to be painted. But we'll go through it quick and easy. Like I said, if you haven't, hit the sub button because we greatly appreciate those. We are growing. We're over 700, so we greatly appreciate that. At 750, we are giving another nice big giveaway on our road to 1,000. So without further ado, let me take and get us into the screen that we need to be in here. So you have your orcs. We're going to kind of do their army rules. So basically, they have the Waaagh. You can take and choose to take and do that. Let me see if I do this right. There's two of the models that I'm going to be using. You basically are eligible to declare the Waaagh on the turn, and they can advance and charge, add 1 to the strength, and they have a 5 up invul save. The other thing that they have is their get stuck in. If they are in combat, they get +1. Or they actually have sustained hits ones, which means on your critical hits of 6s on the hit, you get an extra hit, which is really cool from that standpoint. Without further ado, let's see. We're going to keep rolling here. You've got some stratagems. The interesting part is on page 2 of the stratagems. I really can't use those because I am, spoiler alert, all vehicles pretty much all the time. So I can't use the second set. But you do have the green, the Orks are never beaten, and unbridled carnage. Those can be used because it doesn't say orc infantry. It does say just orcs. But getting into the list. So we are going to take, because you've got your stratagems and then you've got your enhancements. And we're actually going to flip the page here just a bit if I can do it right. Because for my leader, in this, I'm going to have 3 of them, which you can see one of them here, my setup from that standpoint. I am taking a war boss on bike. He is the one that I am bringing along in this orc list that I am naming Speed Freaks for the simple fact it is pretty much everything. I think there's 3 copters in it. But basically, the enhancements that I have each one of the one of them is a war boss on war bike. They all have kilosaws, twin Dacker guns, nothing really crazy. I might change it out because again, points don't matter once you choose the model. You can kind of choose what you want. So I'm going to play around with it, tweak, and go, oh, I need that gun, or oh, I need this gun. But I do have the enhancements. Follow me, lads. Let's see here, and the biggest thing on this, so everybody knows, it's 12 inches. So if you know how I played this game, I love having movement. So it's 12 inches of movement on that one. But we'll go back to the enhancements. So we're going to have Follow Me, Lads. So basically, the bearer is leading a unit. Add 2 inches to the move characteristics models in that unit. So again, 12 inches movement. Add 2. That unit's 14. He will be leading a unit of 6 bikes. So that'll be a war boss on bike with 6 orcs on bike. So they'll be having a 14-inch movement. The second enhancement that I took is Cunning but Brutal. That orc model, only the model, basically, while the bear is leading a unit, that unit is eligible to shoot and declare a charge in which it fell back. So another bike and 6 bikes being able to get in fall out of combat, shoot, and charge someone else. As Ken would always say, as you know, he'll most likely watch it. I do like my Quins, and I turn everything into a Quins army. So the old 9th edition Quins, where they could fall back, shoot, and charge. Really like that. And then the last enhancement is the Super Cyborg Body. And basically, I just wanted to give one of them a feel no pain. So I can give the leader the feel no pain, so he just kind of just stays around a little bit longer. But that is my 3 leaders in the list. They are roughly anywhere between 90 or 100, 100, and 110 points from that standpoint. And then we go down to the first... it's going to be in alphabetical order because I'm using the online book, but you can see the models. Oh, we did a little far there. So the first one is the Boondocka Schnazzle Wagons. Again, 12 inches of movement. I have them loaded out with, right now, they're just loaded out with a big shooter, a grout blaster, a mech specialist, and spiked wheels. There's one of each of them. So there's 3 of those guys up in the squad because you can only bring them in one of one. The next one is, this is the piece that filled it out to make it 2,000 points. But I had just 115 points left after I was done to take 3 Deffkoptas. And they're loaded out the way they are based on their stat line to have as much shooting power as possible. Again, 12, actually I think these are, 12 inches of movement on them as well. So except for the 1 unit of bikes with the Warboss, got 14. We've got 12 on those as well. The next one is the Scrapjet. It's just a nose drill, rocket cannon, 2 big shooters, and wing missiles. And there's 3 of those. So 1, 2, 3. The next one is a Trukks Squig Buggy. It's saw blades, sawed-off shotguns, and squig launches. And there's 3 of those. Those are at 110 each. Again, moving 12. And if you look at most all of it, let's see, 9 wounds. I'm going to roll back up through this. 9 wounds on the things. It's only 4 wounds on the Koptas, but that's 12 wounds technically because you got 3. 9 wounds on this one. T7, T5, T7, T7. So, I mean, not the toughest vehicles, but hey, it's Orks. And they just run across the table. And this one's just going to be, I'm going to get to literally go vroom, 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 and just drive them around. So it's going to be a blast running these around. As you can see, the next one is the Shock Jump Dragster. It's loaded out with just a shock rifle, rockets, and saw blades. And then our last one is the war bikes. It is a 6-man unit of war bikes. They are riding around with each one of the war bosses. So a war boss is attached to each one of the 6-man war bikes. 12-inch move on those. They have 3 wounds each, so 6 times 3, 18, plus the war boss. So they have that, plus they have their 12-inch move, except for the unit that. They've got the close combat weapon, twin Daka, and that's pretty much how I've got them loaded out. Again, haven't dug into the thing because the way I've done the list is I come up with a list idea. I take and once I've come up with the list idea, I run into the scenario of let me run it to see how it works. The whole goal around this list is there is nothing I'm taking in particular. I am taking it's all vehicles. It's a lot of wounds. It's T7, so it's not the toughest, but T7 is actually pretty good. It's not infantry level, so all your infantry guns looking at 5s and 6s, so it's not like it's just easy to blow me off the table. Because of the wall, I can advance, be able to charge, get into combat, have 1 unit to fall back. Biggest thing is just the movement. So whatever my cards I get when I'm playing and drawing cards, I have the ability to move these because these are individual units. Minus the 6 bikes for the war boss, everything is an individual unit. So it's like, oh, I got to get that one wholly within 6. Or I got to get that one outside of 3 for engage. I'm just rolling a d6 trying to move that one model. So it's positioning the model so that I can just zoom onto the board and vroom vroom all over the place. Do I know how it's going to work? Don't have a clue. Is it going to be one heck of a list to play? Yes. Is it going to be fun? Yes. Is it going to be fast? Yes. Is it going to be crazy and just having a blast in 10th? Yes. Does it have some teeth? There's some teeth and models in there. After I play with the list, I might drop some things, pick some squig hoppers or something like that. But I really wanted to, I call it Speed Freaks, I wanted to be as much vehicles as possible. I've actually looked at dropping the 3 Koptas to get me the another, not a drag stub, but I think it's a, I forget which one it is. It's, one looks like the drag stub, but it's a custom, I think, drag stub versus the shot jump dragster. It's a custom dragster. I could have one of those. The trick on that is it doesn't quite fill out the 2,000 points, so I'm trying to maximize 2,000 points when I'm taking and putting it together. So that's the list. Short, sweet. It's not very fancy. Again, these videos are just my list ideas. I'm chunking them out there to give you ideas to kind of say, oh, that's something to look at. Maybe I've got the models. Maybe it's something I'd enjoy doing. Because at the end of the day, Gaming 40K is about having fun, having a blast, enjoying the models you're playing with. And this one looks to be tons and tons of fun. Deployment's going to be just like Orks normally. I've actually got a lot of it on a table. It's going to be very tight to fit in the deployment zone. And it's just going to go vroom, vroom when it takes off. You won't be able to go through walls. You'll have to go around stuff. You don't have really fly. But at the end of the day, you're just running all over the table, and they've got to make choices where to shoot. You're rolling dice, they're rolling dice. If you can connect, you got the Waaagh, the 1 turn, so you really can. I mean, if you can advance the charge, you're moving 12, you roll a dice, you get 3, it's 15. And then you got looking at like a 7-inch charge, that's 22. Most of the time, you're 24 inches max across from each other, maybe 18 if it's the 9-inch deployment. So even if you call Waaagh on turn 1, you can and just go to town with it. So again, thanks for making it this far into the watch. Hopefully you enjoyed the list idea. I did a kind of a, I think a, what's it called? A short on showing them saying they're coming soon. And we are working on them. They're getting painted, so I'll be able to take and put them on the table soon and play them. So we'll see how that goes. Again, everyone, thanks for taking and spending the time with me. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe if you would prefer. Again, thanks to all the patrons to do that. And by all means, leave me a comment. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's garbage? What would you change? Comment below and tell me what you think to do on it. With that, everyone, have a great and wonderful day.